Hi and welcome to those watching on replay. It's Babywearing Friday. Yay, at last! I'm feeling a little bit happier this week. I have gone back to broadcasting on my pad, far easier. So how has your weekend been? I hope I hope it's been good. Today I'm going to be talking about woven wraps. So if you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments and I shall answer them. I am just double checking everything's working and it seems to be. So I shall start. There we go. Right, so woven wraps. I've covered woven wraps before. What I haven't done is gone into depth about woven wraps themselves. So today I'm going to be talking about sizing, how to size your woven wrap. I'm going to be talking about the weave of your woven wrap, and I'm going to be talking about the blend of your woven wrap. Okay, so woven wraps come in several sizes from 1 to 8. You can get them bigger. They start from about 2 meters and a size 8 is roughly about 5.8 meters. Now the sizing is dependent on what you want to do with that wrap. So if you just want the wrap for a quick torso carry, you want something smaller. If you want it for something like a front wrap cross carry, you're going to have a longer wrap. Now, when you decide to buy a woven wrap, people often think, well, what size should I get? And many of them go for the longest one there is. And that's not necessarily the best way to do it. Something is known as the base size. So basically what that is you can do a front wrap cross carry with just a little bit of the ends of the wrap left. So for me as a size 14, I will have to use size 6 wrap. 5, I can't quite do a front wrap cross carry, perhaps with a smaller baby, with a toddler. It has to be a 6. I do like longer tails, so I do tend to use a 7 because I just like swishy tails. But a 6 is my base size. Okay, so when you are thinking about that, it can be size dependent. So obviously the larger lady you are, the larger wrap you are going to have. And also depending on what kind of carry you want. If you're wanting it for a front carry, you're going to have something slightly longer. If it is for a back carry, it's going to have to be something slightly shorter, unless like me you like swishy long tails. So that's sizing it. So different wraps and the way they're cut can affect the way it wraps. So for instance, wraps that are tapered, so rather than straight cut, they've got a cut on the diagonal, they tend to wrap a little bit longer. Yeah, a little bit longer. Tapered, for me personally, I prefer tapered to straight cut down. And straight cut is the material, it's cut all the way down, and that tends to wrap a little bit shorter. With smaller sizes, when you're wrapping, you can just get the end of the wrap and pull it ever so, tie the ends of the wrap on. So when I'm wearing a 5, I can just about get away with it. Not the most comfortable in the world, probably a little bit tight around my waist. That's why I prefer a 6. So we're going to chat about weave now. So a lot of people wonder, about the weave of a wrap. So there's several different types, and you have to forgive me because I keep looking down at my notes. So with the first one I'm going to chat about is the cross twill, or what we know as cross twill, what we know is a German style woven. And that's got a really good diagonal stretch because of the way it's woven. And that you tend to find that in block colours and in striped wraps. So if you've got a striped wrap, it was likely that it's going to be a cross twill. So your straight weave is something that's slightly thinner, more gauze, and that's a lighter fabric. It tends to be slightly cheaper because obviously not so much production in it. And then you've got something known as the jacquard weave, which has a diagonal stretch, and it tends to be, when you see the elaborate patterns that that wraps come in, that is a jacquard weave. So any pattern that you can think of, a jacquard weave is pretty much going to be the weave that is used in that. They tend to be quite smooth to wrap, and they have a slight diagonal pull as well, which makes them really nice to wrap with. Not quite as sturdy, I think, as the cross twill, but nonetheless very nice to wrap with. OSHA have a fantastic sizing guide. I will drop that in at the end of this live. It is it tells you each and every wrap that you can do, so whatever back wrap, cross carry, your front wrap, your hip, your pop-ins, and it tells you all of those, and it also tells you the size, so body size from 6 to 8 right up to I think 24, maybe slightly longer, slightly bigger, and you can look down that and you can have a look at what size you are in clothing, and what wrap you have and what carries you can do with it, excuse me. Right, so now I'm going to chat about blends. So blends are fantastic with woven wraps. You can have them in cotton, you can have them in linen, you can have wool, you can have bamboo, you can have silk, and all different blends bring a different gift to the wrap. So silk wraps are very soft, they have a shimmer to them, it's very, very beautiful, and they wrap very nicely. Bamboo is very breathable, so really good for hot weather. Cotton is your workhorse wrap, so if like me you're really prone to pulling wraps, your 100% cotton wrap will work wonders. And then you have wool. I have a wool wrap that I use for a no-tie ring sling. They have to be looked after, because if you wash them or you pull them too much, they can start to mat, which isn't so good. And linen is often the choice of people that are wearing toddlers or heavier children, because it is very, very sturdy. And I've chatted before about breaking in your woven wrap, and again I will pop the link to that live in at the end of this, to let you, and you can go back and watch that about breaking your wrap in. And basically what it is a lot of wraps come to the customer really stiff, and a lot of people really like to break in those wraps. So they a bit like when you buy new clothing. When you buy new clothing, sometimes it's a bit stiff and it's a bit crispy, and you do various things to it. You wear it and you jump on it, and I'll drop the live in at the end, and you can go off and watch that one. So that is pretty much it. That's everything I know about woven wraps. Well, it's not everything I know, but it's everything I'm going to share with you today. So there is no questions. However, at the end, if you do have questions, whether I am live or whether you're watching this on replay, do pop them in the comments and I will come back and answer them for you. Okay, so I'm Renee. I am the baby wearing educator and the mum behind Close Enough to Kiss. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you.